Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be talking about together time. In other words, we're talking about work problems. So we're first going to start with the formula, and this is how it goes. X over person 1's time plus X over person 2's time equals 1 full job. So X is the time that it takes working together, and that's what we're going to be solving for in most of these problems. Alright, so let's start with the first problem. Working alone, it takes Paris 8 minutes to sweep a porch. Molly can sweep the same porch in 11 minutes. If they work together, how long would it take them? So we're going to do, since we're looking for the together time, that's going to be our X up top. So we're going to do X over person 1, which is Paris, so over 8 minutes, plus X over Molly's time, which was 11 minutes, equals 1 full job. So we're going to be solving this equation here, and the easiest way to do this is by multiplying everything on both sides of the equation by the denominators here, by the common denominator really. But between 8 and 11, since they don't have any common multiples except for themselves, then we're going to be multiplying the whole numerator by 8 and by 11. So let's multiply this one by 8 and 11, this one by 8 and 11, and this one by 8 and 11. And the reason that we're doing this is so that we can get rid of the denominator altogether. So if I do this, then the 8's are going to cancel out, the 11's are going to cancel out here, and nothing is going to cancel out there. So now we have the problem 11x plus 8x equals 8 times 11, which is 88. 11x plus 8x, that's going to be 18x. So then we're going to divide both sides by 18. And we will get x equals 88 over 18, but we're going to type that into Desmos and see what that is equal to. So 88 divided by 18, that is going to be 4.8 repeating. So we're just going to round here, and I'm just going to say this is 4.9. Okay, so this is going to be 4.9 minutes. Okay, so let's look at another problem. And the key here is that it was asking if they work together, how long would it take them? So that's why we were looking for the X in this problem. All right, so now let's look at problem number 2. Working alone, it takes Sean 14 hours to pick 40 bushels of apples. Christopher can pick the same amount of apples in 15 hours. If they work together, how long would it take? So since we're still looking for what it would be if they work together, we're still going to be solving for the numerator here. So we're going to do X over person 1's time, which is 14, plus X over person 2 time, which is 15, and equals 1 full job. 14 and 15, their only common denominator could be 14 times 15. So we're going to multiply the entire numerator by 14 and by 15 on all sides of the equation. So 14 times 15, 14 times 15, and 14 times 15. Okay, so in the first one, we're going to cancel out the denominator, so we're going to cancel out the 14, 15 in this one, and nothing in the last one. So we're going to do 15x plus 14x equals 14 times 15. So let's go type that in. Oops. Okay, and that's going to give us 210. 15 plus 14, that's going to give us 29x equals 210. And then we're going to be dividing by 29 on both sides. So our answer is x equals 210 over 29. But of course, we're going to type this in, see what that is equal to. And that's going to be 7.24. So we're just going to round this to 7.2. I'm just choosing the tens place because I'm not asking for rounding here. So let's do 7.2. And we are looking in hours. Okay, let's look at another problem. Okay, so working together, Riley and Izzy can harvest a field in 6.52 hours. If Riley was working alone, it would take her 16 hours. How long would it take Izzy if she was working alone? So the key here is at the beginning, it says working together. So we know that our X, the numerator here, is going to be 6.52 hours. Person 1's is going to be 16, but we're going to be solving for person 2. So whenever it says how long would it take Izzy, this is looking for either person 1 or person 2. It's actually not going to change what you're looking for. Well, let's just say that Izzy is person 2. So we're looking for person 2's time. Okay, so on the numerator, we're now going to put our together time, and the together time is 6.52. So 6.52 over person 1 time. So Riley, it would take her 16 hours, plus 6.52 divided by Izzy, which is X, is what we're trying to solve for, and then equals our 1 full job, which is 1. So in this one, we're going to be multiplying by 16 and by X in all the numerators. So times 16 times X times 16 times X, and then times 16 times X. All right, so in the first one, the 16s are going to cancel out. In the second one, the X's are going to cancel out. And in the last one, nothing is going to cancel out. So we're going to have 6.52X plus 16 times 6.52. So let's just write this out first. Okay, and then equals 1 times 16 times X, which is 16X. Okay, so let's go type in 16 times 6.52. That's going to give us 104.32. And this is going to equal 16X. Now we're just going to be solving. So I'm going to get my X's on one side. So I'm going to subtract 6.52X from both sides. Okay, we're going to get 104.32 equals 16 minus 6.52. So let's just go type it in so that I don't make any mistakes. All right, that's going to be 9.48. And then we're going to be dividing by 9.48 on both sides. Okay, so let's figure out what this is equal to, and that is going to be our answer. Okay, so 104.32 divided by 9.48. Oh my goodness, 0.48, there we go. Okay, so this is going to give us 11, almost exactly on the dot, so 11.0, and we are looking at hours here. So 11 hours. Okay, so let's draw out problem number 4, and we're going to use Desmos for this one instead of solving it by hand. So working together, Ashlyn and Anthony can paint a fence in 9 hours. That's going to be our together time, so that's going to go up top. Anthony painted the fence alone in 17 hours. How long would it take Ashlyn if she was working alone? So we're going to be solving for X in this equation. And what we're going to do is instead of working this out by hand, we are going to use Desmos. So let's go to Desmos. We're going to type in this into one blank. And we're going to type in y equals 1 into the second blank. The reason that we can do this is because we're solving equations. So this is an equation in itself. This is an equation in itself. We're going to see where they intersect, and the X value is going to be our answer. So let's just write this out. We want to find the intersection, and we're looking for the X value, and that is going to be our answer. Okay, so let's go to Desmos. We're going to type in 9 divided by 17 plus 9 divided by X. And we want this to equal 1, so we're going to go to the second blank and type in y equals 1. All right, now we're going to find our intersection, so I'm going to have to zoom out a little bit here. And let's change this line to red. You'll notice that Desmos does put gray points on important values, so there's one of the y-intercepts. If I kept zooming out, there should also be an x-intercept there, but here is their intersection. And you'll notice that the y value is going to be what we're equaling to, y equals 1. So 19.125 is going to be our answer. 19.1, just rounding this to the 10th place. And we're looking for hours here. This method can be used in any rational equation. So if I was looking up here, I could have just typed that into Desmos, y equals 1 into the second blank, and it would have given me 11. Same thing up here, I actually didn't have to do the solving. I could have just gone straight to x. And same thing over here, I could have just jumped straight to the answer. All right, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'd be very happy to help you out. Goodbye.